There are people that simply shouldn't be allowed behind the wheel, because otherwise this happens. Or this. What was he thinking here? Anyways, I think you get the idea of what this compilation will be about. Every self-respecting driver always blames the cyclists, even here. The car driver didn't look left, cut in front of a cement truck, and paid a heavy price. Very heavy. And this carriage is missing a couple of horses out the front. When you see that your colleague sat down to eat without you. This driver luckily made it onto a tow truck. And this driver was so keen on avoiding the fresh paint from the road markings that he moved all the way across the other side of the lane. But it looks like it was meant to be. These guys were all set to have an amazing weekend, but picked the wrong person to drive there. This Renault did not luck out with the owner. This girl forgot to switch gears to park and was nearly left without a door as a result. No one will be drifting in this car, not anytime soon at least. Perhaps he'll also take this chance to replace the right rear brake lights? The driver of a semi is not getting the Employer of the Year award for sure. The number of questions that don't have an answer bothers me more than the footage itself. And this is one of the most idiotic maneuvers I've ever seen. When you wanted to save on a tow truck. The man forgot that he's driving with the trailer, and look at the result. I think the luckiest person in this scenario was the woman who wasn't hurt by some miracle. The driver must have thought that the cargo would hold on with sheer willpower. When the road wasn't enough for the two of you, and your opponent turned out to be a psycho. And now you're seeing a complex special operation to detain a criminal on a motorcycle. Mission failed. This is why you shouldn't rush. This girl just couldn't park up, and the driver of the neighboring car tried to help. It would have been cute if it weren't for one small nuance. The worker of a delivery service clearly lied on the resume about his driving skills. Looks like these guys confused a car for a boat. A thrill seeker miraculously avoided crashing into several cars. Something tells me that the logs never made it to their destination. What's left of them, anyway. Could have left the gates closed. He would have driven through it anyway. The car driver somehow decided that the truck should let him through, but that was a mistake that cost him his bumper. Sometimes no help is better than help like this. Even the laughing track didn't improve the situation. There are two types of customers. First, and second. This was the beginning of a story of this little trolley, full of incredible adventures.
Here we got a Ford pulling the Chevy. I think it's blue something.
While the Ford was pulling out the Chevrolet, a new problem occurred.
Okay. That definitely was a shit show.
An original way to tow someone's car. I don't think he cares anymore. Just take a look at how determined drivers are in Florida.
Fucking hell, mate.
And this truck driver couldn't figure out why the screaming got louder the more he pressed the accelerator.
Fuck you, stop, mate. You.
This is why you should give way to vehicles on the right. No, this isn't poop from some giant birds. This is a consequence of a weird driver who decided to drive on top of two parked cars for some reason. Just gonna scooch past you real quick.
This kind of shit.
When you think it couldn't get any worse. But then,
Bam! Nothing but horsepower. Check it out.
when you ask for a short ride in exchange for a thank you. This driver didn't notice that all of the other cars suddenly slowed, and this is the result. Yet another learning moment involving a handbrake. It's a shame about the trees, but at least there were no people in harm's way. How to turn a manual car into an automatic in just a couple of seconds. If you were a passenger on that bus, please let us know in the comments if you're okay. A new towing technique. When you really wanted to look like the cool guys. Just look at all of the cars waiting in line while the truck driver is having a rest. Is it driving or slithering? I don't understand how he could not notice a huge bus. Perhaps the driver of the semi could have passed the narrow bit if only he remembered to close the rear doors. This race driver forgot that he was on a regular public road.
Shit! Run, boy!
What do you think this car might be saying? This driving instructor will definitely remember this student for a long time. Looks like this driver forgot something quite important. The motorcycle driver was going to run a red light when suddenly he got away relatively unscathed. This car clearly couldn't handle the drift. And this guy is clearly having a very bad day.
Bye, have a great time.
This is a case where the rails move from under the train rather than the train derailing. Talk about a good icebreaker. Don't know what happened here, but this guy doesn't seem upset. And don't ask me how he's driving without seeing the road. These guys try to pull the car out of a ditch, but something went wrong. Apparently, this guy loves his job. Who else likes parking illegally? If anyone had doubts that street racing leads to trouble, watch this. Take a look at what a tarp is capable of combined with powerful wind. And this driver didn't notice his cargo was lifted, and thankfully no one was injured. Yet another car function no one knew about. This guy never misses his turn.
Your butt.
Even this happens in F1 races. Thankfully, the rest of the car stayed intact. With one swift move, he left an entire street without power. Looks like these guys learned from the cops in the Taxi movies. The Opel 16 driver was blocked between an Infiniti and a Volkswagen. He decided to take action, and as a result had to pay a fine of 36 cents. And here's another video from Bridges vs. Vehicles series. This time you're looking at an epic collision between a truck and a bridge in China.
Shall not pass!
One of the strangest car accidents and one of the strangest chases. Optimus Prime calls. When you're on the road, make sure to look on both sides, as well as up, because you just never know. Many of us have seen Top Gear, but this guy took it to the next level. At what point did he decide this was a circular junction? This guy was chasing his dreams and stole a tractor to steal a motorcycle. But eventually he was caught by the police.
Okay, he's dropped the bucket, he's straightened up. Now he's straight. Stand by, he's on two wheels.
I wonder if the insurance will cover this. The cameraman simply miscalculated and broke a camera worth $100,000. This is probably the most expensive car wash of his life. Not the most reliable way to deliver a TV. Some people drive without tires, some people without a steering wheel, and some drive backwards.
Персонажи, который берет прямой репортаж
И что это? Объясните.
Even Elon Musk couldn't stay indifferent.
Дай ему.
Take a look at what this teenage driver did to escape the police.
Ебот, ты сун!
This is one of the best car chases I've ever seen. Who else was drawing of a Lamborghini?
No!
This one isn't likely to go very far. Azerbaijan flex gone wrong. And this trailer decided to go rogue and start a new life.
I want to break free.
The driver of this truck accidentally dragged this car for 4 miles. According to the legend, they're still going to this day. The axle couldn't handle the power of this Camaro, and this is the result. And this truck driver slightly miscalculated his chances of getting that skip delivered. And now you know this is even possible. It looks like this dude has the motorcycle now.
Cemento fresco.
How to get in $100,000 debt in half a minute. That moment when you've got a Tesla, but the AC doesn't work.
Boom!
I had the same reaction as the guy on a moped. A manual on where not to set up a bonfire. When you turn on the left indicator light but change your mind. The bus driver should change his job to being a race driver. And this guy not paying attention resulted in $7,000 worth of damage on a Tesla. I hope that passers managed to rescue the surviving bottles. This snowplow damaged 40 cars, sending a stream of ice and snow their way. Take a look at the consequences. First, the driver cut in front of a truck and then attacked it with a rebar. But the truck driver was thinking fast. When you decide to show off your powerful SUV, but the ditch turns out to be stronger. And this driver decided that his truck was almighty. However, it's unclear what they were hoping for. And here everything started off well until the female driver confused her pedals. Here's road rage gone wrong. Instant karma. When you steal chewing gum from a supermarket. On a more serious note, this is a car chase after a criminal in Virginia. She was eventually detained and no one was injured.
Approaching 95.
Just a normal day on the roads of Argentina. The driver is clearly a pro, but the place he chooses for turning around is, how do I put this gently, not ideal. This is what happens when you cut in front of a truck on an icy road. And this huge truck was stuck behind a bunch of taxis, so it decided to go for it. At some point, I really thought a civil war was gonna start. There's a strong chance that his favorite song was playing on the radio, and the driver just couldn't control himself.
The hit and run.
This girl was so desperate to avoid the cops, she left before they got there.
This is the last chance. Are you kidding me? You almost hit me.
And this is a blind spot of a truck in action. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to never miss the best videos.